Hi guys, this is gsnhome.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the famous POCO M3. It was launched at the end of November and it's already a star because it has a huge 6000 mAh battery and also it's very affordable. And by the way, the brand POCO was externalized from Xiaomi and became basically a company of its own, just like Redmi did before it. Okay, so let's get things straight. The price tag here is only $149, which is excellent for a device which looks like this. It looks quite stunning, and aside from this black version, we have a blue one and also the one that everybody wants, the yellow one. Okay, so you can see the big camera area here and actually a pretty big POCO logo and an imitation of leather for the backside, even though it's in fact plastic, polycarbonate. I'm going to fire up the device and first thing I notice is that what we're getting here is a flat power button which embeds the fingerprint scanner. This is an unboxing, so let's see what's inside the box. First of all, there's this yellow envelope. The visual identity of POCO is focused on black and yellow. Here we have the key used to access the slots. And here we have some accessories. We have the screen protection. We have the bunch of manuals and info, user guide basically, and also a case which protects the device from scratches and whatnot and has a bunch of cutouts. Let's see it. Here it is, made of silicone, transparent and flexible. Okay, now we continue inside the box where we find the cable which goes from USB-A to USB-C. And also there's a charger here, which supports, first of all, it's got an USB-A port and supports charging up to 22.5 watts, even though the phone itself should do only 18 watts. So that's a bit overkill, but not in a dramatic fashion. Okay, so back to the start of the show. This is definitely the show called POCO M3. Okay, so let's input the code and afterwards I'm only going to resort to the fingerprint scanner inside the power button on the side. It feels like a pretty light phone, even if it's very close to 200 grams, actually 198 grams, and it's rather beefy at 9.6 millimeters. But many things will be forgiven when you're operating on such a low price. Just $149. I'll say it again. Okay, so we got the body all cleared up. The back side, which imitates leather, helps with the grip, and we have a pretty big camera area. Luckily, the protrusion isn't that big. Now on the display front, what you're seeing right here, this one is an IPS LCD with a 6.53 inch diagonal, and the resolution is 2340 over 1080 pixels. We got the teardrop notch at the top side, which is basically a thing of the past nowadays, and we have Gorilla Glass 3 protection to protect the screen panel up front. Now if you want to talk about the CPU inside the phone, we got this app here which tells you the story, even though it doesn't properly find the accurate version of the CPU. I'll tell you, which is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 662, 11 nanometer octa-core. This CPU was also seen on the Moto G9 Play, Moto G9 Power and the Redmi Note 9 4G. Aside from that, you should be getting here 4 gigs of RAM, and at the same time you should also get 64 or 128 gigabytes of storage. We're lucky enough to have received the version with extra storage, 128 gigs. Plus there's a microSD card slot, and I'll say it again that the selling point is definitely the 6000 mAh battery with 18 watt charging. I've also heard that it's supposed to offer you reverse charging, so you can actually use this device as a sort of well, power bank. Okay, you also get to see the virtual keyboard and our website, and guess what, we even get dual speakers on this device. So there are stereo speakers here, and at the bottom you can see one of the speakers, you can see the USB-C port and the microphone, and on the top side you can see the audio jack, you can see what appears to be the infrared emitter, or maybe it's this one here, and a bunch of other holes which I associate to microphones or the secondary speaker. It would be very cool to have it separated from the earpiece. I'm going to have to look into this and figure it out. Okay, so camera wise, you can already tell we have the teardrop here, teardrop notch for the selfie camera. It's a basic 8 megapixel shooter. And if you go to the back side, you'll find this module here that we have a so-called super triple camera. We got the LED flash here, and the combo is rather basic. There's a 48 megapixel shooter coupled with a 2 megapixel shooter for macro and a 2 megapixel shooter for bokeh. The main camera has f1.8 aperture and also face detection autofocus. Okay, so that's about it. On the connectivity front, things are pretty predictable. We're getting Wi-Fi dual band. We're also getting Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, USB-C, 4G, and infrared. By the way, what we're running here is Android 10 with MIUI 12 on top of it, and you can replace this quick settings area with a control center, which is clearly copied from iOS. And just a quick glance at the camera interface, and just in case you're wondering, there's no NFC here. We got a portrait option, we got an AI feature, we got a more area with short videos, slow motion, 48 megapixel documents, even a night mode, and possibly several more to add. A pro mode is included. Okay, also have the video section and the pro section again, handy. Let's see what resolution we can shoot video in, up to full HD. There's no love for 4K here, but there is a special option here for macro. Okay, so that's about it. My first impression is that the device is pretty grippy, and I have huge expectations from its battery. And I have to say, many companies would have resorted to a HD screen here, not full HD, but POCO went all out. Just $149 sounds like a good bargain for this POCO M3. I'm curious how it handles games, how the camera performs, and what the battery life is. I'm going to learn that soon in a full review. Till then, this is gsmno.com. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and bye bye.